And let me at the outset thank all who have rallied out here at the National Emergency Operations Center for more than the last 18 hours. It does not go unnoticed. And I would want publicly to thank each and every person who has been here, making sure that the country is in a position to defend as many people as possible and all of the critical infrastructure, and also to be able to take the communication necessary so as to ensure that we have a holistic picture with respect to damage. It is fair to say that Barbados evaded the worst of Hurricane Beryl. Indeed, as predicted, it passed 80 miles south of the country, and therefore what we got was predominantly tropical force, sustained tropical storm force winds with hurricane gusts. From the reports thus far here at the DEM, it appears as though the majority of the damage is related to coastal infrastructure or coastal assets, and I'll come to that in a minute. I want to thank all Barbadians for obeying, for the most part, the requirements to stay off. I did notice, however, that there are some who continue to go out, and I think the minister dealt with that earlier, and we really do need to begin to understand that when we do that, we put potentially at risk the lives of the emergency personnel, who then not only are their lives at risk, but if they are required somewhere else that is even more demanding, then of course we have a problem. With respect to the coastal damage, it appears as though, and I'm going to leave here and go to visit firsthand, but the preliminary reports suggest that there has been significant damage to fishing vessels, with a large number, probably as much as 20, that may have sunk, and a significantly larger number of them with damage. I'll speak later to the country when I visit it firsthand. We have reports of a number of other vessels that have sunk. Some are already on social media with respect, I think, to the Jolly Roger. And I had a report also on the Dream Chaser that is also sunk to the bottom of the harbor. We are having challenges with a few other vessels as we speak, and I will wait to update you when we get down to that side. There are two areas of Highway 7 that are impassable. The area between Blakey's and Hastings, right there where the old Caribbean, where the new hotel is building, going to just south of KFC. And then I'm told also there are two small fishing boats that would have come across the road with respect to Oystins. So we are asking people to avoid Highway 7 as far as possible. The truth is that if you really don't need to be on the road today, stay home. That's the truth. And I say so with all sincerity. There is going to be significant cleanup work where there has been damage, particularly in that Highway 7 area, and particularly as it relates, as I said, to the coastal assets and coastal infrastructure. With respect to house damage, it is still too early to tell. We have just over 40 houses with some kind of damage or roof loss, or minimal report there would have been roof leaks, but most of it is damage to houses and roof and partial collapse. But we expect that that number may increase because we have over 400 persons in the shelter. And now that the all clear has been given, a number of them will return to their homes, and some of them may well have sustained damage. We have put arrangements in place to at least get the preliminary assessments done this afternoon with respect to those 40 houses or so. But as I said, we await further reports. And I want to urge all Barbadians who have suffered damage and sustained damage. It is important for all kinds of reasons for us to get your information. One, particularly those who are vulnerable and below the poverty line, where we need to help you. For those who are vulnerable in whatever respect, we need to know. And then we also need to be able to plot where the damage is happening, because it helps us to rebuild in a more resilient way. Today is not, and certainly not now, is not the conversation for what we must do, because this is now a way of life. But we will have that conversation in the future and find ways where every Barbadian accepts that while the government may do certain things at one level, we need individual households to heed the warning and to work with us to be able to make their house, their castle, sustainable as far as possible. With respect to electricity, I think you've already seen that the Light and Power has said that about 25% of their systems went down. but they are very much, even before the full all clear has been given, there's something known as an operational all clear, which would have seen their men go out and start to be able to bring back systems online for persons. My electricity, for example, certainly went out at about 5:30, 5:45 this morning, and just now before I left home, it was back on again. So I believe that you will see the continuous rollout. The Water Authority, I believe, has said that they have about 57% of their production capacity back up and running.